Hi everybody, right? So in this part 2 of sharing my entire life work, my best strategies, tactics and step-by-step guides, right? After more than $100,000 worth of coaching, right? More than 10 years of training people and coaching more than 300 clients, right? Over the past couple of years so far. I'm going to share with you my exact step-by-step guide into creating an irresistible lifestyle offer that'll be foolish for people to say no to. Because at the end of the day, right? You get the best sales and marketing strategies, tactics, you say the best things, right? But if you don't have a product or service that people will be almost foolish for people to say no to, you cannot make money in the first place. So making sure, right, you actually create the right product and service. I'm going to share with you my entire step-by-step guide, which people pay multiple 5 figures just to learn this, right, that you can apply and use it for yourself immediately. So take note, right, please make sure you implement, take action, and with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Alright, so this is stage 2, right, of the 4-stage action plan, right, to help you to grow your business, your side hustle, right, with less time, effort, and stress. Okay, so stage number 2, right, is all about what we call creating a dumb to say no offer. And if you watch my first video, right, please watch if you have not. I talk about this one quote by Zig Ziglar, which is to really achieve all the things that you want in life, right, you just have to help enough people achieve what they want. And one of the best things to be able to do is to provide something of value, right? And this is what we mean by creating a dumb to say no offer, to provide something, right, in terms of a product or service, right, for the right people, right, that will be almost dumb, right, or foolish, right, for a nicer word, right, for them to say no to you. So for example, right, if it's extremely authentic, so let's say it's real, right, it's not like a scam or a fake, right? If I say, hey, right, hi everybody, right, give me a $10 note and I'll give you $1,000, and let's say it's real, you'll be kind of dumb, right, for people to say no to you, right? So how can you create something that is has that level, right, of value, right, that'll be almost foolish or dumb, right, for the right people to say no to you and to actually give you money? Okay, so this, in my opinion, is the single most important skill set that's helped me to generate $1,000, right? Starting out completely from scratch, and eventually in multiple 6 figures for my business and life. So no matter how I work, right, if you don't know how to create a great offer or don't know how to create something of value for people to pay, you have a low likelihood of making the money you want. That's my opinion, right? And a great offer with a poor sales and marketing strategy can still eventually work as well. Okay, and probably, right, the reason why you're watching this is very likely I presented with a great offer as well, right? Something that's freaking irresistible, right? To compress, right, my past 10 years of learning experiences, mistakes, failures, right, all right into this entire video series, right? And so this is something that you want to think about, which is what can I give that's so freaking valuable, right? They'll be almost foolish and dumb for people to say no to. Okay, so, and if one thing to know is, even if people buy because they trust you as a person, which is great when you're starting out with a personal brand and whatnot, you still want to create a great offer that what my mentor says should try to be co-friendly. That means even if someone who doesn't really know you, right, and they look at the offer, right, they will actually still have a high likelihood to buy. Not because they know you already, right, but because they really look at the offer and they're like, oh shit, this is good. And this helps you in the long term as well, right? Because when you scale up and you're not doing the sales anymore, for example, right, you can still delegate or create a system for other people to sell. And that's another part of advanced topic of scaling. Okay, so for example, for me, right, when it comes to creating great offers, I use it not just to make sales, but to increase my following, my email list, my leads, and even for partners to work with me as well. Okay, so creating a great offer can be broken down into 3 main steps. Number 1, knowing who you're actually helping and knowing all about what they truly want, right? Understanding what's required for them to achieve what they want in the first place, and right, presenting in a way that is attractive and a no-brainer for them to buy. So we're covering all these 3 things together. Okay, so for those who have no idea, right, please skip this portion. You can just skip it a little bit if you already have your idea, right? But for those who have not, right, this is the framework that I help many of my clients use to identify the idea that they want. It's one of the simplest frameworks and systems you can use to identify a business idea that's both lucrative and fulfilling also. Okay, so what I do is, again, we're going to do a brain dump exercise. Again, take about 20 minutes to fill up these 6 things, right? The first section is alignment. What are some things you really enjoy and like? Some of these the answers might be similar as your personal vision statement, right, earlier, right? So please go and refer to it if you have to, right? Next one, how much do you present these problems and what you're really part of. Okay, so again, these are just things that are similar to what we did earlier, right? Next one, ability. Right, so again, right, what do you have, what it takes? So what are your past skills, your experiences, your knowledge, right, that you can just list down as many as you can, right? Is it options, right, Excel sheets, right, communication, sales, presentations, right, analyzing companies, like what is it, right? What do you have, what it takes? Okay, and then next one is alignment, right, in terms of your skills, right, in terms of what you know, right, your strengths. So I think I realize this is just raw, right? I realize that I should be writing this. Right, so it makes a bit more sense. Okay, good. So so next what you do is, again, based on this 20-minute brain dump exercise, right, identify at least 3 to 5 key intersections, right? Is it option investing, video editing, marketing, right? It's up to you which one you want to focus on, and then use what we call the advantages model to brainstorm different ideas based on the topics you identified. Okay, so potential, right? So potential for profit is going to be very important, because why, if you're going to have a great idea that's aligned to you within your skills, but in terms of the potential for margin, right, it's going to be very low, right? You might not really be happy about it. So usually, in my opinion, and usually I focus on this too a lot, which is the highest margin products, right, or services tend to be anything with content, right, coaching, consulting, or service provider, right? I get there's e-com services that's very popular. Again, it's not my preferred one, because I tend to realize that the margins are not as high as I would like, and I enjoy what I do right now anyway. So to me, it's also part of alignment also. Okay, so you can check this out to get some ideas. So for example, let's say you like karate, and it's one of your karate and mental fitness. Can you be a personal trainer, right, or instructor, right, about karate, right? Again, makeup artist, can I tweak it to karate? Maybe I help to tweak, right? Maybe I don't do makeup, right, obviously, but makeup is just basically just helping to do it for people. Maybe I can help to craft the entire sequence, right, of actions, perhaps, right? Again, so I use this as a way, right, to adapt, right, my skills, my learning, and whatnot. Again, can you do e-com, for example, selling karate products? Yeah, you can, right? However, again, I'm always looking for high margin product and services. So margin, for those who do not know, is just basically, right, is your revenue, right? For those accountants, you might say I'm butchering the definition, so please Google it, right, if you don't trust me, right? So it could be the revenue, right, minus profits, right? And let's say a high margin, right, is basically, right, your profit, right, which is revenue minus expenses, is actually extremely high as a percentage as compared to the revenue. Okay, so for example, right, coaching, technically, right, maybe you need Zoom, right, which can be free as well, or Google Hangouts, right? So maybe if I charge a coaching service for $100, and there's zero expense to me, right? I know there's time, right? Besides that monetary, there's no expense. My margin is 100%. As compared to e-com, right? Maybe I'm selling a product for $100, but the cost to ship it, right, to create it, right, might be $60, $70, and so my margin is just about $30 or 30%. So for me, that's why I love, right, content coaching, consulting, or services, right? Because that tends to create higher margin. Okay, so promise, right, fulfillment. Right, so in just terms of how do you plan to fulfill those services? Is it just all by yourself, right? Is it by help leveraging for other people, managed through affiliates, right, drop shipping, right, partnerships? Let me just do marketing for other big companies, or it could be a hybrid of both, right? So for example, right, one thing I did in a lot of my affiliate sales. So for me, I've actually generated about $500,000 worth of affiliate revenue, right, over the past couple of years. And one of the best things I do is not to just sell my partner's product alone. So what do I mean? For the hybrid wise, right, what I do is I offer, for example, one of my friends, my partner's investment program for, let's say, $3,000. But what happens is, and the $3,000, right, you get this, you get all the different products, the program, the workshop, the support, the community, the networks, right? But because I'm an affiliate partner, right, I also, right, say, by the way, you get my bonuses as well. So for if you join a $3,000 investment program, besides getting all they offer, you get me, right? You get my one-to-one coaching, you get my personal WhatsApp group, you get the stocks I'm actually investing right now. So this is what I call hybrid. And when I'm starting out, right, I love to use a hybrid model where I get to leverage. I'll talk more about that in the stage number 3, right, in terms of leveraging, right? I get to leverage the brand name of the main product I'm selling, but I also get to offer my own as a bonus as well. So that's a hybrid, right? If I just want to use myself, it's just what I'm doing right now, which is I'm just offering my own coaching services. I'm not really leveraging, right, off other people, right? Others, if it's pure others, right? So for example, in 2020, my claim to fame, right? 2019, right? I'm sorry. My claim to fame was I was the #1 affiliate for Tony Robbins, right, in Asia, right, for their Knowledge Business Blueprint program. And what I did is I affiliated something, right? There was somebody else's program, but I did not offer my own bonus as well. So all I did was to send people the links, right, to their masterclass, right, to their program, right? And then when people bought, I would get a cut of it. So they're just totally others. Okay? Next one, potential, right? So the potential for growth, potential for expansion, right? So what I'm looking for is always 3 things, right? Number 1, Do I feel that they have the potential to grow in the next 5, 10, 20 years, right? As much as possible. So for example, AI, right? Blockchain, right? To me, coaching services, self-education is going to be a lot more important, right? The freelancer world and entire world is getting bigger as well. So I think high growth, right? Next thing, competitiveness. How competitive, right, is the market as well? So again, you don't want to have a place with zero competition actually, because it might also mean that there's no money to be made there, right? So for example, if you're trying to sell career performance services for people who have zero job and zero income, right? But I mean, there's no competition, right? But you don't get to really make a lot of money there. So I'll take note of both. I don't want it to be totally no competition, but I don't want it to have too much competition as well, right? So I look at competitiveness. And next thing, scalability. So scalability is just basically this thing. As I grow my business or my side hustle, right, do my expenses grow as well? So a company organization that's very scalable, right, usually, right, is that the more, even if I grow my revenue, right, my expenses stay very low. So for example, right, for example, right, my entire 4-week action plan, let's say I were to charge it, right, whether one person bought it for me or 100 people or 500 people, it doesn't really take too much expenses from my own my business as well. So that's what I call an example of a scalable thing, right? That's why again I don't really like e-com, right? Because your expenses will grow, right, in terms of how much you sell. So I don't really like it too much. But again, right, of course, if you love e-com, you want to sell products, feel free to go ahead. But these are the few considerations I'll look at before I choose my idea as well. Okay, so you can use this resource as way, right? Those are examples, right? But what you do is choose about 3 to 5 ideas based on everything that we've gone through, the advantages model, the ability, and using alignment. And then, right, using the questionnaire, right, decide on the one idea you want to work on for the next 3 to 6 months. Okay, right? And this is the questionnaire. You can just do a scoring from a scale of 1 to 10. And again, you can access the scoring sheet all over here. Okay, so how interested am I in the idea? How much do I resonate? Right? How much do I feel that this is something that I really want to help people with? Right? How much am I already part of this corporate community? How much do I actually know already? Right? How confident I have the skill set to deliver? Right? So you don't have to be one thing to know, and this addresses a lot of the concerns of imposter syndrome. Right? You don't have to be a level 100 to help someone who's level 2. Again, I repeat, you don't have to be a level 100 to help someone level 2. So in case you think you're not the world class at it, that's fine. And the wonderful thing is sometimes people rather you be a level 10 or 20 to help them who is a level 5 because they feel that you're more relatable. So for example, I'm going to be very open to you right now, right? For me, I don't feel that I will need, for example, Elon Musk to teach me business at the moment. Not because I don't think he's great or he's intelligent and whatnot, it's because I don't think I'm at the stage, right, where I can really maximize my time, my value with him if he were to teach me. Right, for Elon Musk, for example, I would rather learn from someone who's maybe about 2 to 3 years, right, maybe ahead of me, maybe 5 years max, right? Because if it's too far ahead, I don't know what they're going through, right? They might not really relate to my situation, right, in today's world. So again, you don't have to be too, right, global, right, to actually start launching your business. Okay, so next one. Again, right, just a very quick one, right? So for me, right, is do I think that I'm the best, craziest expert in the entire world right now? No, I'm not, right? I'm not unrealistic. I know some gurus want you to position as if you're the only choice in the entire world, right? I believe, I know that the people who might be in a better experience than me. But who am I relating to are people, right, that might find that they are a little bit too far, right? Not as relatable. They don't connect as them. And these are the people I want to serve. Right, as well. So again, right, people have different opinions on this, but I realize the reason why I can get a lot more results with my clients because I relate to them a lot more. I'm on the ground with them. I'm calling them, right, whenever I can, right. I get to understand them tactically. What do they really need, rather than coming from a 30,000 foot view. Okay. How much idea displays my natural strengths in terms of whether it's communication, whether meticulous, whether you are taking charge, right? How confident are you, right? How confident are you in the delivery model, right? How confident are you, how lucrative, and how does my gut feel? Again, I look at gut. So what you can do is, you can always look at these different ideas, right? Score a scale of 1 to 10, and then you can do the total score, and that will give you an idea of what do you want to decide, right? And again, if you're not too sure, that's fine. What you want to do when testing out ideas, right, is to do it about every 3 months. Right, so every 3 months review, right, whether you enjoy the idea, and think about whether you must you tweak it or change it all completely also. Okay, so if not, we'll move on, right, to this question. So this is for everybody, right, which is who do I actually serve? So when most of my clients come to me, right, and this is something that is why I feel that I came up with this concept, right, for my clients, and I think it was really useful for them. It's what I call second positioning. And what I've realized is being extremely proficient is one thing was the exact results able to coach many different clients from different industry sectors and still how to get results, right? And not saying that I'm a world expert at it, right? But what I realized that this helped me to help a lot more people, coach a lot more people that were beyond my levels of experience, beyond my industry, beyond my sector, because I was very proficient in this one thing. Okay, so with that, let's go for it. So basically all it is to not to ask questions that start with I, but to put yourself in the shoes of the other party. Some people call it empathy, that's great, but what I do is, right, to put myself in the state of the other party so I can know what do they really want, right, and then I can tweak my strategy to that. So for example, we ask your questions. Instead of asking, how can I successfully launch my book? It's going to have a very different answer and feeling as compared to what exactly, right, would my buyers want, my potential buyers want to have before they will buy my book. So I look from their point of view. Okay, next one. What sort of content will get me the most amount of views versus what kind of content will interest my audience the most? Right, so I took it. Right, so I'm just always changing about it. Whether it's partnerships, collaborations, one-to-ones, right? I always think about what do they want first. How can I sell my product versus, right, what would my potential buyers really want to have for them to buy from me? And so doing this will require you to have a very clear understanding of the people you want to serve, right? So if you're just starting a business side hustle, right, one of the best things I actually get all my clients to do, I actually work with them for it, is to conduct a survey to my audience who they feel will be potential buyers. All right. And what happens is, through the survey alone, they're able to get extra potential leads, get a lot more data, clarity, and feedback, right? And get even potential clients as well. So what happens is, we have a very quick example. The end of 2019, I did a mass survey, right, about master mentors, right? And if I didn't do the survey, I would have known that most of my clients and my people that follow me, right, one thing they really needed, right, from me was how do they find more clarity and direction and strategy for their life. Right, that's number one. And number two, right, is that a lot of them were overwhelmed, burnt out, and stressed out. I would have known all this deep dive data, right, if I didn't do the survey. And of course, there were other areas which are sales, marketing strategies, right, that I could get deeper on. But this is something, right, that you can use if you're starting out, or even if you're actually building up. When was the last time you actually surveyed your clients, your community, your networks? Okay. So again, if any of you here are keen for us to help you to craft your entire survey, your campaign, your strategy, right, let us know and we'll help you out. We have one of our clients, right, called Zach, right, and in just one post, he actually had about more than 70 posts, 70 comments at this time of writing, right? So these are all potential leads, potential clients, right? And worst case, he gets a lot of data from them. Okay, so at the same time, if already helped some people, whether is it free, paid, right, in your area of chosen space, right, what you do is to compile the list of the top 10 to 20 people and look to identify the most common factors among them. Is it based on demographics, right, their age, their gender, their occupation, income level, right, what are their goals and dreams outcomes, right, what do you actually want to achieve, what are their problems and their pain points, right, so their challenges, their struggles, their frustrations, what do they tend to consume and be influenced from? This is a very big question that most people don't address. And what are their main questions and concerns about the solution? So if you look at mine, so what you can do is you can actually complete this very quick spreadsheet right over here, and this is mine as an example, right, and this will give you a better idea, right, when you look at them, let's say the top 10 to 20 people you have helped, right, you'll be way more likely to find some common patterns. And what can you do? You can always use ChatGPT, right, to create what I call empathy map as well. Okay, so and based on finding that target client avatar, right, based on real objective data and results, whether it's through your survey, right, or whether it's through your research or based on past people have helped, right, then you want to just tweak it based on their willingness and their ability to buy. Okay, so if the total score is below 30 of these 5 questions, right, scale of 1 to 10, right, for each of these, right, or any of the individual scales below 5, you might want to switch your idea or switch who you're trying to serve. So number one, are they able to buy in the first place? Right? Do they have the money most of the time? Is it easy to convince them? Right? Is it something that you must really take a lot of time, effort, struggle to convince them to buy? Right? Have they been buying similar products or services already? Right? Are there problems painful, frustrating enough for them to explore alternate solutions? And are there enough people who desire to buy, right, in the coming years? So these are the 5 questions you can ask, right, for yourself. So for example, right, people who are displaced by AI, right? Even though, yes, I think that would be a great target group, right? If they are high-level people who can buy, right? Is it easy to convince them? Yeah, because they are actually being displaced. Have they been buying similar products? Maybe not, right? But I wouldn't be too worried about this because it's a pretty new space, right? People who are displaced because of AI, right? Are their problems painful or frustrating? Yes, right? They want to, for sure. And are there enough people who decide to buy my offer, right? Probably not the next decade, but probably next 3 to 5 years. So again, right, I might either position my idea differently or who I'm trying to solve. So maybe instead of just people who are displaced, right, by AI, right, I might find people who want to upgrade their careers, right, to become even better, right, be paid more in industry, right, and to improve their job security. So I will capture some people who are displaced, but at least then, are there enough people? Yes, there will very likely be people who want to upgrade themselves with AI, right? And, right, have they been buying similar? Yes, people have been buying solutions. They want to upgrade their career already, right, if you think about it. Okay, so take note, if you have never helped someone before, you have two choices, right? Number one, right, you can use yourself as an ideal client avatar, right? If you're doing a coaching, consulting, right, info business. If you're running a service-based business, right, a very tactical tip is actually to go to ChatGPT, right? And just copy and paste this. You can go a bit deeper as well if you want to, right? And just to find out more about the kind of people that you want to, that you might potentially serve, right? Of course, the other way just for you to just go reach out to as many people, potential clients, right? And then over time you find a better idea, right? And again, this is all not a one-time thing, right? You still want to review this exercise after you've helped about 5 to 10 clients as well. So do whatever it takes to get your first 5 free clients, first 5 to 10 free clients, or free or lowly paid, right? And then for you get more data as well. Okay, so again, right, even though we didn't mention this, right, take note, it's okay to help for free when you're starting out. Okay, so again, do spend some time working on this section before proceeding to the next steps, right? If you want to get all of us to do all this for you with guaranteed results, all you need to do now is to apply to speak with our team. Okay, so next, so now that we know we are helping, we want to have a better understanding of exactly what we're helping them to achieve in the first place. And this is a template which is very similar to your personal mission statement, but this is now more for your marketing, right? So who, career characteristics of your target audience, right? What result you're going to help them get? Always, right, without XXX, right, it's a little bit optional for some, right, but it actually helps a lot, right, without overwhelm, right, without burnout, right, without looking at calories all the time, right, without eating vegetables, right, yeah, so these are different ways, right, and then a new way, right, what's the system, strategy, mentorship can do it. Again, there's some examples here, you can check out all on your own. Okay, so take note, remember to make it as attractive and simple to understand as possible, right? Imagine you're going to tell a random 12 already understand him, so make it very simple. And take note, it will take some time. Even for me, it took some time for me to be very clear. I'm always trying to evolve it, right? To always try to make it even simpler for people to understand, to make it clearer, more attractive. So take note that this is something always evolving, right? But this is something will be very powerful for you, right? To use, right? To use for your profiles, your cover page, your workshops, to introduce yourself, right? Be very important. Okay. So very quickly about differentiating, finding an X factor, having a unique positioning, right? Take note that whatever I just shared earlier, right, will help you to get an idea of differentiation of unique positioning. However, I believe that most people tend to overthink about being too different, and that's what actually prevents them from moving forward. So don't spend time to overthink right now, because right now, right, most of us over here do not need the most unique positioning in the world. Right? So for example, if let's say you charge $2,000 per client, right? And let's say you want to make a 6-figure income, right? So you just look at 2,000, right? So let's say 6-figure income, right? You just need 50 clients, right? 50 clients over a year, right? And 50 clients out of millions of people, right? In Singapore, or let's do Malaysia or Southeast Asia, right? It's actually very little. So you do not need to be super unique at the moment. That's my opinion for most people. Right? Yes, do you want to have that differentiation for yes, but my take is what we did earlier will already help you, especially over this portion, right? For you to position yourself differently already. And we'll talk about stage 3 in terms of content to help you out even further also. Okay? Again, if you'd like to speak with us deeper, right, you can always book a call over here. Okay, so let me put over here. Okay, so crafting specific stages and milestones. So the next portion, right, is going to be a lot deeper. This is not what really clients, most marketing, sales, coaches, gurus will teach you, but I feel that it's going to be very important for you moving forward. Okay, so to create a great offer, you need first to have an understanding of the core actions, the milestones, or the stages every client must complete in order to achieve the ultimate goal. So you want to map it out for them. You want to know exactly what you achieve. So not just like if you want to make achieve 60 kg, right? I want to lose weight. What are the actual actions or stages, right? Is it health, right? In terms of their diet? Is it in terms of how many times might they go for exercise, right? Is it in terms of stretching, right? Mobility exercises to make sure they don't get injured. What are the mini milestones you want them to get? Okay, so please note this is not about what you are offering yet, right? This is, so don't write lines like attend coaching call, ask questions, go one-to-one call with you, right? It's a very different thing. What must they do? So for example, let's say I'm a dating coach, right? And I'm helping find people relationship through dating apps, right? It could be number one, I want to optimize your entire personal profile, right? Number two, I want to swipe your entire potential partners, right? DM people to invite for dates, right? Go on a date and decide whether to go for subsequent ones. And number four is, right, decide who you want to ask and ask the one to get attached. So this could be 4 potential milestones. And if you look at mine, right, my milestones, right, for this action plan is based on this. Right, I realize this. Number one, people need to get clear on a strategy. If not, they won't even do well, right, in their lives, right? Or they won't maximize the use of their programs or their learning. Number two, they need to build a fully sustainable offer ASAP. You can be great at content sales and marketing, but if you don't have a great offer, you're not going to right people, right? And stage 3, I'm going to talk about sales and marketing system, a recurring process for cash flow, right? And number 4, to make sure that you execute this consistently without fail, you need to have a high performance process. So these are the stage 4, right? The 4 stages, right, to get there. So again, note that this will take some time to refine, right? There will always be slight differences from people who might be in different spaces on you, depending on what they want to emphasize. So don't worry about it. So for example, for me, right, most sales and marketing gurus or coaches, right, won't really talk about high performance as a core stage, but they just want to teach you the tactics. But for me, I realize over and over again, right, that the reason why most people fail is because they don't focus on high performance systems. They don't focus on consistent action. And that's the struggle that I have, that I realize that most people have. Okay, so this is what we call the get stages, and do take some time to craft this, because this will be one of the most important things you would do for yourself. You can do about 5 to 7 stages. You don't need 4, right? So that will help you quite a lot as well. Okay, so now we're going to the weeds of it, right? Delivery mechanism. So now we know what must happen for your target audience to achieve their dream results. Now you must design your delivery mechanism from your offer that will maximize the probability that they actually will achieve them. So this is what I feel the most underlooked part for most coaches, trainers, gurus that will not tell you about. Most of them will only teach you how to sell your product service, but never how to consistently deliver the high level of results. More importantly, right, without relying on you all the time, right? So at the end of the day, right, know that the best one in sales and marketing is having a high quality product, and that's why I should never ignore this, right? Know that it's okay for not everyone who works with you to achieve their desired results, and that's normal, right? Because at the end of the day, we can create the best results. We can do all the one-to-ones we want. There's always going to be a group of people that will never be able to achieve the results they want. Maybe it's just misaligned or values, right? Meaning they have a lot of limiting beliefs and your focus is not mindsets, right? And they don't want to take action based on what you're going to say. Maybe there's family emergencies, right? Health issues, the client don't take action. It couldn't, my take is, yes, it's a co-responsibility, right? But sometimes don't beat yourself up if sometimes your clients do not get results. If you know you have done whatever it takes to get there already. Okay? And so, just to go deeper, instead of feeling bad and blaming them about it, right, I'll proactively offer a refund for any client, right, who I find is not a right fit, as the number one most important thing to me is my reputation. I've proactively done refunds. They still get to keep a lot of our bonuses, right? But why is because I realize if I don't believe I can get you the results, right, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine as well, right? So this is going to be very important, right? As my time, my effort, right, is going to be very important and precious to me. Okay, and at the end of the day, this gives me valuable feedback for me to improve my sales qualification process, which I'll talk about in stage 3, right, in the future. Okay, so for this exercise, right, we'll start brainstorming all the different ways we can use to help our clients achieve their dream results. So something I heard from US mentor, right, shared is that instead of asking, so in the marketing world, there's this thing called done for you, done with you, do it yourself service, right? My take is you should be doing whatever it freaking takes service. So pardon my French, this is the only time I'm going to be like swearing, right, in the entire document, right? And so for example, instead of trying to think about, oh, this is done for you, this is done with you, like do whatever it takes for them to get the results sustainably without overwhelming yourself in the long term also. The only exception is when you're starting out, yes, do provide more one-to-one support because you want to get more experience, more on the ground, right, to find out exactly what can you do, right? But you should always be looking to find out how can you multiply your time, right, in other ways at the same time. So while it takes some time, your end goal is to consistently help every client achieve their desired results without relying on you all the time. So that is the long-term goal. Okay? So what I do is, based on each milestone, right, which we have actually crafted over here, I hope you have already done it by now, right? what you're gonna do, right, is to use all this as a brainstorm. There could be others that I might have not included here, right? And think about what mechanisms of here can help them to achieve the whatever milestones we're talking about. All right. So it's a simple example, right? Stage 1, get clear on the exact strategy, right? Client onboarding form, kickstart call, right? 30-day weekly review, right? So these are 3 things I would usually have them to do for the strategy. And I might do a weekly review with them moving time as well. Build a fully next day offer, right? Complete the worksheet from client side, right? We build the entire offer together, right? Via one-to-one basis, right? Right now, whether is it through me, my head coach, for me, it's me, right, as well. Launching the offer, right, in the market to gain feedback. So client has to go and launch it, right, through the, and we use a proven playbook for them to execute immediately on their own, right? And then weekly calls to constantly improve, right, optimize it, right, give feedback, right, over and over again for the offer. Okay. So next one, sales and marketing system, right? Number 2, right? Number 3 is together the form that we mentioned, right? Based on what they want, we'll strategize and build the entire strategy and launch campaign together with the client. That means we do it together, right? Client executes it with a proven system and playbooks, right? And then we will guide, give improvement, right, over time as well. Okay. Next thing, right? High performance process, right? Again, we'll craft it entirely together with the client, right? And then this will have 24/7 accountability support so that we make sure that they're consistently taking action towards where they want to do, and right, to make sure that they are aligned, right? And they're not doing things that will drain them in the long term, right? And then we have weekly calls, again, feedback sessions for consistent improvement as well. Okay, so this is just a quick example of what we do. And then we do have some bonuses, for example, like mastermind events, right, networks, right, community groups, right, to support. But these are the core mechanics that we realize that's help our clients out also. Okay, again, if you need help with this, right, we can craft the entire, right, offer structure for you if you need help, right. All you need to do now is to apply to speak with our team over here. Okay, so putting the final touches, right? Again, and I actually, it's kind of suggesting an example, right? I used what I call Alex Hormozi's $100 million offer. If you haven't read the book, right, it's a great book, but let me just summarize one core part of you, right? One of my most, probably the most powerful lesson in my opinion, right? And how to really make it dumb to say no. And this is first by learning what we call the value equation, right? By Alex Hormozi, right? So what happens is, to have a great offer, you need 4 things, right? You need to make sure there's something that people really want in the first place in terms of the dream outcome, right? You need to have them to trust that the likelihood of them achieving the results will be very high. There needs to be low time delay. That means the lower the amount of time they need to actually achieve it, right, the higher the value they see it, right? And right, effort and sacrifice, right? In terms of how much effort and sacrifice is needed from them. The less possible, right? The less effort and sacrifice needed from them, the more valuable, right, they see. So this is a great equation for you to think about it. Okay, so you can read this with a bit more details, right? So how can you increase it as well? But for example, this actually explains, right, why a diet pill can be more expensive than going to the gym. This can also explain why liposuction, right? Less effort sacrifice, less time delay, immediately lose their weight, right? High likelihood of achievement, right? It's going to be very expensive, right? So this is going to be an example. So for example, right, even better. That's why, right, what I realized is a lot of people tend to focus on having a great dream outcome by having very great, crazy marketing claims and trying to give you as much proof, right, as much trust about their experiences, their credentials, right, as much as possible, right? So a lot of people have all this, but most people don't focus on reducing time, delay, effort, and sacrifice, even though they kind of market it as such. So what I do is, that's why in the first 14 to 60 days, one of the craziest things we have refined our offer is in the first 14 to 60 days, and we're going to be looking to decrease the amount over the next couple of years probably, which is how can you get your results ASAP, right? Maybe up to even 4 days, 7 days working with us to build your entire system, your strategy, your offer, marketing system, high performance, right, in the shortest period of time as possible with as little effort and sacrifice needed from your help. All you do is just to complete our fill in the blanks form, right? We'll meet for the one-to-one call. We'll build it together with you. So again, right, if you're able to see, I mean, dream outcome, perceived likelihood, everybody talks about it in terms of marketing and whatnot. But if you're able to reduce this to, we know you can create a lot more value, right, in the market as well. Okay? So that's why I front load the toughest work for our clients. And then, right, they can execute consistently, right, without worrying too much about everything we just talked about. Okay? Next one. Guarantees. Right? So what are results you can guarantee they'll achieve, right? Or are you more than happy to give them back all the money they invested with? So this is the most important thing, in my opinion, offer if you want to make your offer 3 times to say no, because people look at risk and reward. I know some people have different schools of thought about it, right? But especially if you're still building up your space, growing the space, right, for now, and you are creating an offer, right, that is something that's a bit more scalable, right, right now, I think this is something that most people can use. Will there be some people who misuse this? Absolutely. However, I realize the net benefit of using this is way more than the potential risk of what 2 to 3 unethical, dishonest people do. And this is also why I highly qualify anyone I work with. Alright, I'll talk about that again in stage 3 and stage 4. Okay. We also guarantee our client results in legal writing that they will achieve a minimum of 2x ROI, or we'll either work with them until we get there. So this is why, right, this is our crazy no-brainer guarantee. If you're a right person, if you are someone who's starting a side hustle, if you're already someone who has a side hustle, an entrepreneur, and you are very likely in the info coaching services space, right? I've actually created what I call almost a dumb or foolish to say no offer, right? Which is, right, we build everything for you in the first 14 to 60 days, right? We have a lot of follow-up support with you on a weekly progress, multiple one-to-one calls, 27 accountability, right? Private client support, right? A huge community as well, right? And by the way, if after the entire duration of working with us, right, in the program, you don't make at least 2x increase in income, right? Based on our program, we'll give you all your money back. Right, and we put in legal writing. So we actually, and to me, legal writing aside, right, reputation risk is so freaking important for me. Right, so take note, right, that this is an example of a great, right, irresistible offer. Okay, so worst case, right, if what we provide don't work, your only expense, right, is the time and maybe the effort used to work with us. Right, and maybe that little investment you made, right, might not be able to invest in the market, but that's a small risk as compared to other people wasting $30,000 per. I've seen people that actually lost $30,000 programs that don't work, and they say they'll give a refund, but they don't do it. All right, so let's take note. So best case, right, however, they achieve their dream outcome and transformation they're looking for. Okay, so the different types, right, satisfaction, performance-based, right, satisfaction, lifetime support, online program, money back. So the different types of guarantee, right, the simplest, of course, is this, right, it can be this as well, right, for lower ticket products, in my opinion, right, and then, of course, the lifetime support is part of it as well, right, in terms of online content, online modules, okay? So, if you're still not unproven, or if you have not created many success stories yet, you can do any of the following, right? We've helped our clients to do this. Work for free, launch a heavily discounted beta offer, get paid by results, right? Paid only after you achieve intended results, right? 100% accountability reward or complete 100% refund for any reason in the first 30 days. So I have a client that was my youngest client, 19 years old, right? He was charging a setup fee of $300 and he was paid by performance, right? For any appointment he gets, right? Less than 1 year later, because he got so much results, he was able to have a lot more credibility. He's now charging about $3,000 for setup and about $1,000, $2,000 every single month, right? Of a retainer fee. Right, but first he created multiple success stories. So don't be afraid to do this first, right? And before you know it, you can actually charge way more than before. Okay, so again, do spend some time, right? Because working on the next steps. Again, if you need our help to craft the entire portion review, right? All you need to do is to apply to speak with our team over here. Okay, so if not, right, this is stage number 2, right, of creating offer, right? So again, if you need help, you can let us know, right? But crafting this entire offer is so freaking important. So when you actually present it, right, in the future, right, even to people who might not really know you, right, it'll be almost foolish for them to say no, and that's how you just scale your income, your impact, your revenue, your sales in the long term. See ya.